You already know exactly what you should be doing, yet you sit there motionless, watching the minutes slip by. Days roll into weeks, and that important task still sits there untouched. But what if I told you the problem isn't laziness, and it isn't even a lack of motivation? It's the frame of mind you're operating from. I'm about to share with you a powerful mental shift that can force you into action, even when every part of you resists moving. If you ignore this, you will keep seeing your potential dissolve right in front of you. First, let's talk about the real secret to progress: the decision to act. Most people have been led to believe they must first feel excited, inspired, or ready before they can take the first step. That idea ruins more lives than almost anything else. The truth is blunt: those who succeed are not waiting for a magical rush of motivation. They have built the ability to do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. Motivation isn't what gets you started. Movement is. When you begin taking action, motivation naturally follows as a byproduct. People stall because they think they must feel completely prepared before making their move. They wait for perfect timing, the ideal situation, or a surge of inspiration that rarely comes. This is why so many intelligent, capable people spend their lives stuck. The ones who get ahead understand that motion comes first, and clarity is something discovered along the way. Every step forward removes some of the uncertainty. Each action you take reveals a piece of the road you couldn't see before. Picture a man who dreams of achieving financial independence. He reads all the books, watches every tutorial, writes detailed plans, but never launches his project. He tells himself he'll start when he's ready. But confidence is not built in advance. It's forged through action. No one ever thinks their way to success. They work their way there. Look back through history, and you'll see that progress has always been made by those willing to move even when the outcome was unclear. Edison didn't sit around waiting for perfect inspiration to create the light bulb. He got to work, failing thousands of times until one of those attempts worked. Henry Ford didn't wait until he was certain his idea would succeed. He took risks that ended up transforming the world. What made these men great wasn't an endless supply of motivation. It was their commitment to acting when motivation was nowhere to be found. When you take action, you meet reality head on. You get real feedback about what works, what fails, and what adjustments are necessary. The one who stays frozen, waiting for the right feeling, never gets this feedback. He remains locked in analysis, stuck in an endless loop of overthinking. The hardest part is always that very first move. That first step seems impossibly heavy, whether it's starting a business, picking up a new skill, or having a difficult conversation. But once you take it, the resistance weakens and momentum begins to build. Your brain rewards movement by giving you focus and energy. Suddenly, what once felt unreachable starts to seem inevitable. Think about a salesperson staring at a phone, terrified to make the first call. He procrastinates, talks himself out of it, feels his anxiety rise. But if he forces himself to just dial the first number, the fear starts to dissolve. Each call after that becomes easier. He didn't wait to feel confident. He acted first, and confidence grew naturally. This is how it works in every area of life. Entrepreneurs who launch before everything is perfect, artists who begin before inspiration strikes, speakers who go on stage despite nerves. They all win not because they felt ready, but because they refused to let hesitation run their lives. Fear and self-doubt are the other great enemies. They show up right before any significant leap forward. They whisper questions: what if I fail? What if I embarrass myself? What if I'm just not good enough? But fear is mostly an illusion. The vast majority of things we dread never actually happen, and when they do, we almost always handle them better than we imagined. Failure is not the end of the road. It is the toll you pay to travel it. Everyone you admire has collected more failures than you might believe. The only difference between them and those who stayed stuck was their refusal to stop moving. Action shrinks fear, while hesitation makes it grow. Fear thrives in the space of inaction, but the moment you begin to move toward it, it loses its grip. True courage is not about feeling fearless. It's about moving forward despite the fear screaming in your ear. Consider the absolute worst thing that could happen. Would you survive it? Almost always. The answer is yes. People are far more adaptable and resilient than they give themselves credit for. Setbacks can be recovered from, mistakes can be corrected, and even painful failures can teach you lessons that make future success easier. Fear feeds on delay. Every hour you spend hesitating gives it strength. That's why procrastination and fear work hand in hand. The longer you wait, the more terrifying it all seems. Take Edwin C. Barnes, for example, a man who dreamed of working with Thomas Edison. He had no money, no network, no formal credentials, just determination. He didn't sit around wondering if he'd ever get a shot. He hopped a train, showed up at Edison's office, and declared that he would work with him. At first, he was only offered a lowly position, but he didn't quit. Years later, when the perfect chance appeared, he grabbed it and became one of Edison's key partners. His success was born not from waiting for courage to appear, but from acting decisively despite uncertainty. The lesson is timeless. You conquer fear not by thinking about it, but by running straight at it. Stop looking for the perfect timing. It doesn't exist. Break the goal into smaller moves and attack them one by one. Each small win weakens fear's power until what once felt terrifying becomes simply another obstacle to climb over. Now let's talk about procrastination, the silent killer of potential. How many times have you said, "I'll do it tomorrow," only to watch tomorrow turn into weeks, months, or even years? Time keeps passing whether you act or not. That perfect moment you're waiting for will never show up. Procrastination disguises itself cleverly as preparation, as perfectionism, as waiting for the right conditions. You tell yourself you need more research, more time, more confidence. But the more you delay, the heavier starting becomes. Inaction becomes a habit. The only way to break it is to move, even if what you do is small or messy. One clumsy action is worth infinitely more than 1,000 flawless intentions. A powerful way to break the cycle is the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself you only need to work on the task for 5 minutes. That's it, just 5 minutes of effort. Once you start, momentum kicks in, and more often than not, you keep going far past those 5 minutes. You must also take control of your environment because distractions are everywhere. Social media, entertainment, endless notifications, all competing for your attention. If you don't actively design your surroundings, they will pull you away from your priorities. Break big projects into manageable steps. Focus on progress, not perfection. Even the smallest efforts compound over time into massive results. True success isn't about occasional big leaps. It's about showing up consistently. Hold yourself accountable. Share your goals with someone you trust. Track your progress. Write things down. This creates external pressure that makes quitting less appealing. The people who achieve their goals are not always the most talented, but they are the ones who learn to act even when they didn't feel like it. Remember, time is your most valuable asset. Every moment you wait is gone forever. Your future is being written right now by what you choose to do today. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. Stop waiting for some perfect signal from the universe and start. Even the smallest step forward is better than standing still. Action will always defeat inaction. Finally, let's talk about discipline, the real engine of success. Discipline is not about punishment or misery. It is about training yourself to win, shaping yourself into the kind of person who follows through. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your self-respect. That self-respect builds confidence, and confidence fuels your ability to take bigger and bolder action. Discipline isn't about suffering. It's about building habits that serve you. The first time you push into discomfort, your mind will resist and beg you to stop. But if you keep going, you begin to rewire yourself to see challenge not as something to run from, but as something to conquer. Eventually, what once felt impossible becomes normal. You become stronger mentally and emotionally, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Discipline means doing what's required whether you want to or not. If you rely on motivation, you'll be at the mercy of your emotions forever. Motivation comes and goes like the weather, but discipline is steady. You decide to act regardless of mood, energy level, or convenience. You stop negotiating with yourself. When the alarm rings, you get up. When the work is scheduled, you show up and do it. This is what separates those who live their dreams from those who just dream. Success is never about bursts of excitement. It is about consistency, day after day, long after the excitement wears off. Consistency is the foundation on which all achievement is built. The ones who reach the top are rarely the most talented. They are simply the ones who refuse to quit. They keep showing up even when results are slow, even when no one is applauding, even when they feel exhausted. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it grows. And just like with any muscle, you have to train it. Start small and build from there. Get up at the time you said you would stay true to the promises you make to yourself. Follow through on your obligations even on the days when you lack the energy or desire to do so. These seemingly small choices add up, shaping the kind of person you become. Each time you honor your own word, you strengthen the bond of trust you have with yourself. And that trust is the foundation of unlimited potential. The biggest achievements in life are earned by those who keep moving forward long after the initial spark of motivation has faded away. Starting something is easy. Almost everyone can do that. But finishing, that is rare. There are countless people who begin projects with excitement, but walk away once the path becomes rough or progress slows. True discipline is about holding the line even when it stops being fun, when the path is unclear, when your effort seems to yield no visible result. That is the precise moment where breakthroughs are born. That is when you distinguish yourself from the countless others who gave up. Discipline is the invisible thread that connects what you dream about to what you actually create. It is the quiet force that moves you from where you are to where you hope to be. Without it, ambitions remain locked inside your imagination, but with it, the life you want becomes possible. Discipline should never be seen as punishment. It is a powerful form of respect for yourself, an act of choosing your highest potential over temporary comfort. Training yourself to persist is the surest path to limitless achievement. Pain is one of life's greatest instructors, whether we like it or not. It can crush you or it can forge you, and which outcome you get depends on your decision. When you are confronted with suffering, you face a choice: surrender to the weight of it or use it to climb higher than before. Pain is inevitable. No one escapes it. But how you respond is what shapes your destiny. You can allow difficulties to harden your heart and make you bitter, or you can let them refine you and make you better. Every person who has accomplished something great has endured setbacks, rejection, and hardship. Not one of them reached success without scars. The crucial difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful ones refuse to let pain stop them. They transform their suffering into momentum, using it as a source of power that pushes them forward. Pain becomes the fire that strengthens their spirit and steels their determination. When others collapse under the pressure, they rise. So the next time life knocks you flat, don't stay there. Get up with more resolve than before. Use the pain to sharpen your focus and strengthen your resolve. Growth is uncomfortable by design, and that is exactly why hardship is necessary. It forces you to expand beyond the limits you thought you had. Comfort does not teach you. Struggle does. Pain chisels away at the parts of you that are weak and reveals the strength that was hidden inside you. The moments of discomfort are the birthplace of real transformation. When everything hurts, that is the exact point where change is happening. That is when you have to choose: let the pain break you or let it remake you into someone stronger. Most people run from pain, but the wise learn to welcome it. They understand that it is a partner, not an enemy. It is the one thing that will drive you forward when nothing else will. If you learn to lean into discomfort instead of avoiding it, you gain an advantage over the majority of people who spend their lives seeking comfort. You become resilient. Reframing pain as part of the journey flips everything on its head. You stop fearing it and start using it as a guide. Pain isn't a dead end. It is the doorway to something greater. When you channel your suffering into determination, you find new depths of strength within yourself. Think about the most relentless people in history, the ones we admire. They all turned their suffering into fuel. They took rejection and used it to sharpen their skills. They took loss and used it to deepen their sense of purpose. They faced failure and used it as a stepping stone instead of a barrier. Pain became the hammer that shaped them into legends. That same power is inside you right now. You are capable of far more than you believe, but only if you are willing to embrace the fire. Do not shy away from the hard moments. Step directly into them. Allow them to forge you into someone unshakable. Each time you hurt, remind yourself that this is where growth is happening. This is where you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. Life will keep testing you. That is inevitable. You will face storms, obstacles, and moments that feel unbearable. In those moments, remind yourself that pain is not here to destroy you, but to shape you. Let it build you into someone no challenge can break. When difficulty arrives, and it always does, hold your ground. Face it head on. Don't hide. Don't back down. Use it as a weapon. Let it fuel you. Because pain, in truth, is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally and teacher. Without a clear direction, you end up wandering aimlessly through life. Living without goals is like trying to navigate the open sea without a map or compass. You move, but you never really arrive anywhere. Goals give your life purpose and aim, offering you something concrete to pursue. They bring clarity amid the noise of distractions and keep you moving steadily toward the future you want. But simply wishing for a better future is not enough. Your goals must be specific and clearly defined. Vague desires like wanting to be successful or wanting to be happy are too unfocused to drive real progress. Instead, be exact about what you want, when you want it, and how you will measure success. The more clearly you define the destination, the easier it is to chart a path toward it. Once your vision is set, break it into smaller steps you can act on. Big dreams can feel overwhelming when viewed all at once, but when you divide them into small daily or weekly tasks, they become achievable. Each completed step builds momentum, making what once seemed impossible feel inevitable. But action is the real secret. Without taking action, goals remain fantasies that fade with time. You must move forward every single day, even if only a little at a time. Small actions add up. Over time, that consistency creates massive results. The people who achieve their dreams are not always the most talented or intelligent. They are the ones who keep going no matter what. A goal without execution is nothing more than a wish. To make your dreams real, build a practical plan. Write your goals down on paper. This act of writing strengthens your commitment and keeps your vision clear. Research shows that people who write down their goals are much more likely to accomplish them. After writing them down, organize them into monthly, weekly, and daily steps to keep yourself on track. This method prevents procrastination and ensures steady progress. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Perfection is an illusion that keeps people from starting. Many waste years avoiding action because they fear making mistakes. But success is built on persistence, not perfection. Learn from each setback, adjust your strategy, and keep moving forward. Growth comes from doing, not from waiting. Keep yourself accountable. Track your actions, evaluate your results, and be honest with yourself about what needs to change. If necessary, share your goals with someone who will hold you to your word, a coach, a friend, or a mentor. Celebrate every milestone, no matter how small. Each one is proof that you are getting closer to your vision. Recognizing progress keeps you motivated and builds positive habits. Success is a series of small victories stacked on top of each other. Most people fail not because they cannot succeed, but because they do not stay consistent. They hesitate, delay, or give up when things get tough. The ones who win are those who keep showing up, executing the plan day after day, regardless of how they feel. Define your goals. Build the plan. Take action every single day. Success is not a lucky accident. It is the result of relentless commitment. If you stay disciplined and refuse to quit, success is not just possible, it is inevitable. Everything starts with your mindset. Your mental state is the foundation for how you face every situation. It is what determines whether you rise to the occasion or collapse under the pressure. A fragile mindset is like building your life on shaky ground. It cracks the moment things get difficult. A strong, unshakable mindset, however, allows you to turn hardships into stepping stones and use setbacks as fuel. Every challenge is an opportunity if you choose to view it that way. Life will put you through trials, that much is guaranteed. You will encounter failure, rejection, and moments of deep uncertainty. If your mind is weak, you will interpret these events as proof that you are not capable and give up. A resilient mind, however, treats every difficulty as feedback, a lesson that shows what needs improvement. Failure does not destroy you, it educates you. It reveals what must be fixed and which strategies need to be refined. The winners in life are not those who avoid failure, but those who absorb its lessons, adapt, and return even stronger. The way you think shapes everything. If you keep telling yourself that you can't do something, you set yourself up to fail before you even begin. But if you believe you are capable of overcoming obstacles, you unlock hidden reserves of energy and resourcefulness. Your mind is a powerful tool, directing your actions and ultimately shaping your results. A growth-oriented mindset is the secret weapon of the most accomplished individuals. It sees potential in every situation and treats abilities as something that can be developed rather than fixed. People who embrace this mindset are in a constant state of learning and evolution, never satisfied with staying still. They welcome difficulties because they know each challenge makes them stronger. To build this kind of mindset, feed your mind with empowering thoughts and ideas. Just as your body needs proper fuel to stay strong, your mind needs inspiration and positive input to stay resilient. Surround yourself with people who elevate you, consume books and messages that expand your thinking, and ruthlessly remove negativity from your environment. The people around you, the media you absorb, and the language you use all shape your mental state. If you allow toxic influences in, they will drain your strength and limit your potential. Talent alone is not enough. Plenty of gifted people fail because they lack the mental strength to keep going. True success belongs to the ones who refuse to quit, who get up after every failure, who push forward regardless of how difficult it gets. Winning is not about being the smartest or most naturally talented. It is about being the one who never stops moving forward. When you train your mind to never surrender, nothing can stop you. Obstacles may appear, but they will not defeat you. Setbacks will happen, but they will not define you. Doubt will arise, but it will not control you. You will stand firm because you have built an unshakable mental foundation. And once you have that, nothing is out of reach. You naturally become like the people you spend most of your time with, whether you realize it or not. This single truth has enormous influence over your growth, your level of success, and your overall well-being. The people closest to you shape the way you think, act, and make choices. If you surround yourself with people who inspire you and challenge you to be better, you will naturally elevate yourself. Humans are deeply social, and we mirror the habits, attitudes, and energy of the people around us. Spend enough time with those who demand more from themselves, and soon you will begin demanding more from yourself as well. They will push you past your comfort zone and force you to confront your limits. They will expect more of you than you expect of yourself, and that pressure will make you rise to meet it. Excellence will stop being optional and will become your new normal. On the other hand, negativity is just as contagious. If you stay around people who complain, make excuses, and blame circumstances for their situation, you will slowly adopt their outlook. Soon excuses will feel reasonable, and mediocrity will seem acceptable. Without even realizing it, you may find yourself rationalizing why you are staying still rather than advancing toward growth. This habit of excusing inaction can weigh you down like an anchor, holding you back from becoming who you are meant to be. Your surroundings play a major role in shaping your destiny. The individuals you spend the majority of your time with either contribute to your progress or silently restrain your ambitions. When you surround yourself with people who take initiative, tackle challenges head-on, and refuse to quit no matter how many obstacles appear, you begin to mirror that very spirit. Their persistence, focus, and determination rub off on you and begin to mold the way you think and act. Seeing their commitment in action strengthens your belief that you are capable of achieving remarkable things as well. Energy spreads from person to person like a ripple in water, and who you interact with every day leaves a mark on you, whether you notice it or not. Every conversation, every shared moment, every simple exchange shapes your internal programming and shifts the way you think. That is why it is vital to choose wisely. If your goal is to elevate your existence, you must first raise the standard of the people you allow close to you. This requires intentional effort to seek out those whose lives reflect the principles and goals you wish to embody. It also means walking away from relationships that exhaust you, hold you back, or keep you repeating outdated thought patterns. One of the most effective methods to accelerate personal growth is finding mentors. Mentors are people who have already traveled the road you want to walk. They hold experience, lessons, and strategies that could save you years of mistakes and wasted time. They broaden your vision, challenge your assumptions, and equip you with tools to handle your own journey more effectively. A mentor does more than teach you tactics. They hold you responsible for applying what you learn and taking consistent action. In addition to mentors, you should intentionally develop friendships with those who push you to improve. These people encourage you to keep going when you want to quit, remind you of your purpose when you get distracted, and celebrate every milestone you achieve. They become catalysts for your transformation, calling out excuses, urging you forward when you hesitate, and offering support when you feel drained. Your success is closely tied to the type of people you surround yourself with. If the majority of your inner circle is ambitious, disciplined, and focused on growth, you will rise to meet that standard naturally. If instead you are constantly surrounded by pessimism, laziness, and mediocrity, your potential will remain dormant. It is essential to regularly examine the people in your life. Ask yourself which relationships inspire growth and which ones drain your energy. Be willing to cut ties with those who consistently pull you down and deliberately nurture the bonds that push you forward. Life is too precious to waste in an environment that suffocates your potential. You have limitless ability within you, but you must place yourself in conditions that allow it to flourish. Choose the people around you with care because they form the foundation of the future you are building. When you intentionally upgrade your relationships, you upgrade your life. Time is the most valuable asset you will ever have. Every tick of the clock is a piece of your life you will never recover. Yet so many people give away hours, days, and even years to distractions, unimportant obligations, and meaningless routines without realizing the cost. If you want to achieve anything meaningful, you must take full ownership of how you invest your hours. Most people complain that there is not enough time in the day, but the truth is that they fail to manage the time they have. Time is the great equalizer. Every person alive is given the exact same 24 hours each day. The difference between extraordinary results and mediocrity lies in how those hours are used. High achievers are not granted more time than you. They simply manage their minutes with precision and discipline. The first step in reclaiming your time is to become aware of where it is actually going. Pay attention to how you spend your day. You might be shocked at how much of it disappears into pointless scrolling, unnecessary meetings, or low-value tasks. Identifying where your hours leak away is the first step to regaining control. Once you know, cut out anything that does not align with your priorities. Learn to say no to obligations that drain your focus and pull you away from what matters. Too often, we fill our schedules with other people's agendas while neglecting our own. Stop living reactively and start designing your day deliberately. Having a plan before the day begins is a game changer. Instead of waking up and hoping to feel productive, map out the key tasks that need your attention ahead of time. Define your most important goals the night before so you wake up with a clear sense of direction. Break major objectives into small, achievable steps you can tackle daily. This builds momentum, keeps you consistent, and prevents overwhelm. Success is not about flawless execution, but about staying disciplined over time. Excuses are the silent killers of productivity. There will always be reasons to delay, but none of them move you closer to the life you want. If something is a priority, you make time for it. If it is not, remove it from your schedule. Every wasted hour is stolen from the future you want to build. The most accomplished individuals do not wait for the right time to act. They create it by maximizing the hours they already have. Modern technology, while powerful, can also be one of the greatest threats to your focus. Social media, notifications, and endless digital distractions can devour entire chunks of your day without you noticing. If you find yourself constantly sidetracked, set firm boundaries, turn off non-essential notifications, reduce mindless scrolling, and carve out uninterrupted blocks of deep, focused work. Protecting your time is one of the best investments you can make in yourself. Discipline is the bridge between where you are today and where you want to go. You must stick to your plan and hold yourself accountable. Set strict deadlines and follow through even when you do not feel like it. Time management is not just about being busy. It is about working with intention and purpose. Every moment spent pursuing your goals brings you closer to the reality you want. The truth is, productivity is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters most with precision and focus. The main difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is not talent, luck, or intelligence. It is how they use the hours they have been given. Your future is being shaped by what you do right now. Stop making excuses. Stop giving away your time to things that do not serve you, and start executing with clarity. The clock never stops. Treat every second as valuable. Failure is not the enemy of success. It is a necessary companion on the path to achievement. The most accomplished people in history have experienced more failures than most people have ever dared to try. Their persistence, willingness to adapt, and ability to extract lessons from every setback are what separate them from everyone else. Each failure contains within it a lesson, a clue, and an opportunity to refine your strategy. Too many people see failure as a final judgment of their worth rather than as feedback pointing them toward the right direction. Failure is a process of narrowing down what does not work so that you can discover what does. The only real failure is refusing to try again. One of the biggest reasons we fear failure is the fear of being judged by others. Society loves to showcase victories, but often hides the struggles that made them possible, giving a false impression that success is smooth and effortless. In truth, failure is a universal experience. Every great inventor, leader, entrepreneur, and artist has faced defeat many times. What sets them apart is how they respond. They analyze the situation, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. Instead of treating failure as humiliation, we should view it as proof that we are taking risks and stretching beyond our comfort zone. Each setback is preparing you for a stronger comeback. Learning to recover from failure builds resilience, a quality that is essential for lasting success. Growth happens when you step into discomfort and face challenges head on. Success is not about avoiding mistakes, but about gaining wisdom through them. The more times you fail and keep going, the more capable you become. Adopting a growth mindset transforms failure from a barrier into a stepping stone. The quicker you fail, the quicker you learn, and the sooner you find what works. This is why those who achieve greatness are not the ones who never fail, but the ones who refuse to quit. History is full of people who turned repeated setbacks into remarkable achievements. Thomas Edison, for instance, famously failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb, but he saw each failure not as defeat, but as progress, discovering methods that didn't work until he found one that did. If the most successful figures in history embraced failure as part of their process, why should we avoid it? Fear of failure stops many from even attempting, yet those who use failure as a teacher often go on to achieve more than they ever imagined. The road to success is rarely straight. It twists and turns, filled with moments of struggle and moments of triumph. What ultimately matters is how you respond to the tough moments. Do you allow them to break you, or do you use them as motivation to try again? True success is built on persistence. The people who create extraordinary lives are not always the most gifted. They are simply unwilling to give up. They treat failure as an instructor and continue moving forward. Every failed attempt brings you one step closer to the result you seek. Keep refining, keep pushing, and let failure fuel your growth. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads. You have a decision to make. You can continue postponing action, hesitating and making excuses, or you can declare that this is the moment where everything changes. The day you stop overthinking and start moving. No more waiting, no more delaying, just taking action. Because only action has the power to take you from where you are to where you want to be. Success does not come to those who only hope and dream. It comes to those who act, even when they are afraid, even when they are uncertain. Dreams stay fantasies unless you put in the work to bring them to life. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect moment, the ideal opportunity, or some kind of external signal telling them to begin. But perfection never arrives. The ones who win in life are those who start despite not having all the answers. They keep moving forward through fear, through uncertainty, through discomfort. They take control of their own lives by taking action before they feel ready. Confidence is not something that falls from the sky. It is built by proving to yourself that you can follow through. The only way to build that proof is to start. Action leads to momentum, and momentum leads to progress. Even the smallest step can break the cycle of hesitation. The longer you put things off, the harder it becomes to begin. Procrastination does not just postpone success, it often destroys it. Each day you spend waiting is a day you could have used to get closer to your dream. Refuse to let hesitation steal your potential. Push yourself into motion even when it feels uncomfortable. Fear will always be present, but when you act anyway, fear loses its grip on you. You are far more capable than you think. You can change your story, reshape your future, and build the life you truly want. But it all begins with the decision to act. Commit now that you will no longer hold back. From this moment forward, refuse to be stopped. Show up for yourself every single day, no matter how you feel. Motivation may be fleeting, but discipline is what keeps you moving forward. Success is the result of consistent effort over time, not occasional bursts of inspiration. The decisions you make today will define your tomorrow. There is no magic formula or secret shortcut. There is only the choice to act, to persist, and to stay determined. So stop delaying. Stop waiting for conditions to be perfect. Start now. The time you have is too precious to waste.